Hi, this is Himanshu Sarafki, and in this video we'll share the Excel and text file functions available in custom Func.dll. Okay. So here on the desktop I have one Excel file which is in .xls format and a txt file. Let me just go ahead and open the Excel file. Let's check if it's empty. Okay, so that's a blank Excel file over here. Let's close it and let's see the text file. Okay, we have some value in it. I'll just go ahead and remove it and save it, and it's done. Okay, so we are ready. Let's open the Telerik test studio. So here I already have created a test Excel and text functions. I'll open it up for you, and we'll be using the URL google.com. So what we'll be doing, we'll just fetch some value from google.com and then put it up into Excel, then just change the value in Excel and try to fetch that back and see if the value has been fetched properly. Okay, so over here I'll go ahead and fetch this value India. So I'll extract this value and put it up into a extracted variable called name. So I'll just show you how to go ahead and extract a value. I'll hover over it, select extract text contains India, and then just change the name of the extracted variable from whatever it did to name. So that's what I did. I just changed the variable name to name. So here is my code. Okay, so the extracted value that we get over here is of the form object. So we need to convert it into a string. That we are doing over here. We get the extracted value in name and then convert it into string, and then put that value into string variable data. So we use get extracted value, the name of the variable, to string, and convert it into data, convert it into string and put it up into the variable string variable data. Just type func dot data from Excel. No, we'll be using data to Excel right now. Data to Excel. So the first argument that we need to pass is the file path of the Excel in which we will be writing the data into. So here is the file path complete till the file extension, that is .xls, comma, the column number and row number in which I want to enter the data to. So I'll just take the first row and first column over here, first column, first row, and then because a workbook might contain multiple sheets, I enter the sheet name. So that is sheet 1. That is the default sheet name that comes whenever you create an Excel workbook. So sheet 1, sheet 2 and sheet 3. So I'll be using the sheet 1, and then this is a visibility condition. I give it false. It is like if you want to see the Excel while the test is running. Okay, the last is the data that I want to put into the Excel. That has to be in form of string. So we have already fetched the string out of the name value that we extracted. Okay, so let me just go ahead and run this up for you. Let's see if it fetches the data, and it should be putting that into Excel. So it fetches India. Okay, yep, it fetched India and did something. Let's see if it has gone into the Excel. Okay, my Excel has moved to the other desktop. Just a minute. Here is my Excel. Okay, so let me just open it and see. Okay, so it now has the value India in it. Okay, next thing that we'll do, we'll use data from Excel function. For that I'll edit the value India over here, and I'll just change it to, let's take India 1. Just put up India 1 and save the file and close it. So the next function that I want to use is data from Excel. So it does just the reverse of what we did right now. It fetches the data from an Excel given the row, column and the sheet name. Let's type the function. We do func dot, this time we will be using data from Excel. Again, the first argument remains the same, that is the file path. Just copy paste the file path, and the row number and the column number from which I want to fetch the data from, and the sheet name. And we also have the visibility condition over here. Well, the visibility condition is kind of just for your check if the Excel opened or not, because otherwise it just vanishes in a millisecond. It just opens up and closes it. So it's, if you give it a true, that would just be for your visibility that yes, it opened. Otherwise most of the times you can give it a false without any issues. So I'll just display the data that we have fetched into a message box. That again is a function in that custom func.dll. So it takes argument as a string message. So my data from Excel function has a return type string. So it gets the data from the Excel and returns it as a string, which could be captured into string x data variable. So I create a string variable x data and I'm capturing the value of func.getExcel return, and now I'll display that in a message box. Let me go ahead and run this up. Okay, so it uses the value that was already stored into Excel, India 1. So now it has displayed the message box which has India 1 as the value. That was the value that we put up in the Excel. Okay. So similar to what we have been doing, data to Excel and data from Excel, there could be a condition when you want to data drive your complete test using these functions. In that case, you might be requiring the column number and the row number of the in use, the column and row number that are in use. So for that we have a function func.call count and row count, and the return type for both of these functions is integer. So you get an integer number of what is the row count and the column count, and all you need to give as an argument is the file path and the sheet name. So for that sheet name, it returns you the column count and the row count as an integer. So just to see that if it's returning the right values, I will be converting the call and row integers into string. So call.toString and row.toString I'm using over here, and I'm concatenating the string with a space in between. So run it, and okay, so here is my message box which says 1 and 1. So 1 column and 1 row. So that is the active row and column count of my sheet. I'll just dim this up, and we'll go ahead to the function for writing data to a text file. So similar to what we have been doing for Excel, so we have a function that is data to text. So using that we can write some data into a text file, a simple notepad file, which could be used as a global variable, and it stores the value of the last execution. So that is completely up to you how you want to use it. So the function is data to Excel, which takes the argument as the complete file path and the data that you want to put into it, which already has been used as the fetched value of the variable name in a string format. So I just pass the sheet path with the sheet name, the file path with the file name, and the string. So let me just run it up for you. So I want data India to be fetched and put into the file text func.txt that was placed on my desktop. Let's see. So I open up the text func and it has the value India in it. Let me go ahead and alter it to India 123. I'll save it and close it. So the next function that we'll be working on is to fetch that value back from the text file. So rather than data to text, we'll be using data from text. And the return type of this function again is a string. So I'm capturing that return into a string variable text data. The argument is just the file path with the file name, the complete file path, and it returns me whatever value is there inside that text file, and I fetch it into text data string, and I'm using a message box to display it. Okay, so here I get my message box which says India 123. So that was a required text that we altered into the text file. So that's all for the today's session. Thanks for signing in. Thanks a lot.